Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. What am I doing with this? Well, today we're talking about sacral and opening up the sacral chakra, working with it. What's it all about? Well, the biggest thing to understand that I don't think is talked about as much as it should be is how much it is the center of our ability to manifest. And when it's blocked, our creativity is blocked. Our ability to tune into infinite intelligence is blocked. You see, that ability to tune into source isn't just through the crown, it's through creativity. So let's talk about it. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Hawken, and I help people work into their divine selves by doing their inner work. And gosh, sacral is connected to the element of water. It's associated with the color orange, creativity, our inner selves, our emotional selves. It's the moon in our birth charts. It's our inner self, our ability to relate with relationships. So interestingly enough, I'm filming this while Mercury is in retrograde right now, and you may even notice some things coming up in your relationships and your ability to communicate your emotions. So it's so relevant, so relevant. And the reality is it's a lot deeper than just emotions and our inner selves. It's also our sexual selves, our sense of passion. And with that, I'll start by touching on a few things. You can work on your sacral lightly by drinking lots of water, doing color therapy with the color orange, as well as doing things like core workouts or any aerobics or yogas or workouts that really get the core moving, working with the abdominals and the lower back, because it's just as important to remember that working with our spiritual energies, with our chakras, with doing our inner work is just as much of a full body experience as journaling and doing daily things like that. Eating oranges, papayas, anything orange of that sort. And it's not just color therapy either. When you think about those foods, they're high fiber fruits, things, or even root vegetables, things like yams or sweet potatoes or carrots. Those are all high fiber vegetables that are really great for the lower digestive system. So it's no coincidence that these things are good for the sacral and also happen to be great for the lower digestive and the lower organs, the gut, and it's all in tandem. And nothing is coincidence. Remember that. Nothing is coincidence on this channel or in life. So, I used to look at it like it was simply the emotional self. It took me a long time to connect to how potent that passion and the connection to sexual energy is. And the reality is there is a huge, huge connection between the creative energy in sacral and sexual passionate energy and the ability to manifest. So, on the one hand, creativity is this doorway to source. It's tapping into whatever's creative for you is your ability to get into flow, whether it's through music or writing or art or making something. When you get into that creative flow, you get your energy tuned in and aligned into the frequency that's allowing that thing to flow through source into you, and therefore you're tapping into source energy when you're doing creative things that you're so passionate about, especially when you just let yourself do it. And that's where there's a connection to things like writer's block or creative blocks. If you have a block in this area, in that area with your writing or your art or something, then I'd suggest working on sacral in ways that will make sense to you. There could be a block in your sexuality, and that's causing block, and that's causing writer's block. And it's only by delving deeply into our sacral themes and energies and doing that shadow work will you really free up those blocks. While at the same time, there is a free doorway there where, in my experience, when I have had creative blocks, or say I was writing an article or working on a book or something that required like sitting down and having creative energy, and sometimes the flow just isn't coming. And that is when sometimes it's great to just go at it from another angle. And that's where sometimes I would jump and just do something else, change directions. And this is also where the element of water comes in. Just be water and let it flow. Because when something is damming you and causing a block in one stream, then if you are water, you will simply flow around it. And you will find a new direction to get there. So I'll tell you how I relate with that. Sometimes if I have a block going on in writing in a totally different field, in like a wellness article or a book or something, then I'll just sit down with my notepad and, like write an erotic poem or a short story or something, get this and get the passionate energy flowing in another way. And that is a big doorway to creative flow, because sexual energy and creative passionate energy are all in tandem with each other. Now, why is sexual energy so important? Because on the one hand, within the sacral is all of the sex organs and that whole pelvic region, right? So, if we go deeper, the power of sex and the energy of sexual energy is quite literally creation. See, the energy that it takes for two people to bring their sexual energy together has the potential to create life, has the potential to bring forth life from source. So harnessing that energy is this extremely potent power that we have. When you learn to harness that energy for your creative means, then you are unstoppable. This has the ability to manifest. You have the ability, when you can redirect that into other things, oh my gosh, you will be a force to be reckoned with. And it's this really, I'm asking myself how many times I can say the word potent in one video. Really though, it's so you have this powerful creation energy, right? And it's this frequency that when tapped into, even all by yourself, without, somebody, there is a lot to be said for the potential of a person who is highly sexed, who can control their sexual energy, work with it, and use it for their own means. There was a lot of research that went into this that I learned from Think and Grow Rich. And Napoleon Hill was amazing at how documented the power of sexual energy is for manifesting. It is unbelievable how powerful it is. And so how can we harness that? We can do that by, first of all, thinking about how we approach sexuality and what turns you on. If we, and now simply masturbating or getting cranked up and turned on from visually stimulating things is a very baseline level, it's a very surface level way to burn off that steam. It's an urge, right? And we are compelled to burn off that sexual energy somehow. And when we do that, we're just burning it off frivolously. But if we can save that energy and use it towards other things instead of just frivolously going and letting one off, pardon my crudeness, but really. And now keeping in mind as far as my experience in my own research and those who I've talked to, women are already much better at harnessing this energy than men, and it takes a lot of practice to rewire the system to operate this way. But when we approach things like masturbation from an angle of, or instead of just instant gratification, thinking about something and then spewing off the energy, rather think of things that make you feel good. Think of things like nature, or the ocean, things that really just make you feel good. Think about the great day you had yesterday while you're pleasuring yourself and making it a moment of self-love instead of just this moment of getting off. And think about the things that you're manifesting, the things that you're tuning into. Visualize them while you're in this moment of ecstasy, and then edge right to the edge, and then breathe. Do breath work. And this is a practice that I actually do, getting right to the edge and then going into a round of like Wim Hof style breath work, circular breathing. And I'll breathe, 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 and then hold my breath like and then I'll repeat the round. And while doing that and working with sexual and ecstatic energy is this extremely powerful method of building up your ecstatic energy and really releasing your intention into the universe. You can also incorporate those things with a partner if you if you set some intentions beforehand, and take your time. Don't make it all about the destination. Let the whole journey build the energy, and then think about those intentions as you reach the peak of the mountaintop. And those are just a few ways to really work with sexual energy. I really wanted to touch on that while talking about sacral, because it is so much more than just the emotional or the creative self. It is our doorway to manifesting through creativity and sexuality, through those outlets of our own passion. We can weave our own realities by setting these intentions and working with it and developing self-mastery. It's also our emotional self, being mindful of how we're conveying our emotions, how we're communicating with others and ourselves. And so we're guided in this theme to think about how we come across, how we perceive other people. And gosh, sometimes when people get upset about you or at you, you can just take that and say, that's your shit, not mine. When somebody reacts to you, you can just simply say, that's your inner work to do. I see that. I'm aware of it. I don't need to get upset. Or simply being mindful not to react in jealousy or anger at things that other people do to you. This is a call to be mindful of how you're conveying your emotions. So I hope that really got deeper into sacral than I've gotten before. And if you want to get even deeper and you want to have some really great journal prompts and get juicy into the shadow work, grab a copy of Mind, Body, Soul on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Have a great day, guys, and a wonderful week. Love you. Bye.